Hi class, Mrs. Calvi here. Quick review on reflecting figures in the coordinate plane. So when we reflect, it means we are reflecting either over the x-axis or the y-axis, depending on the directions given to us. And if you notice here, it is saying reflect triangle ABC across the y-axis, and then give the coordinates of the new image. So if you remember from our translating video, the new image in this case, again, is the blue image. The original image is the blue image. And the reflected figure is the red image. And we know that because it has the prime marks or the tick marks. So A prime, B prime, and C prime tells us that this is the new figure after the reflection. Okay, so we want to reflect this original figure over the y-axis. So we want to go from here and we want to reflect it over the y-axis because this is our y-axis, right? So in order to do this, watch what I do. So when we were translating figures and it said translate the figure 6 units left, we took that point and went 6 units left. For reflecting, it's a little different, so please make sure you're paying attention. So to reflect, I'm going to do the same thing that I did in translating with reflecting each point individually, but watch how I do this. So point A, I'm going to count how many units it takes me to get to the y-axis because that is the axis I am reflecting over. So it's going to take me 2 units to get to the y-axis. So I'm going to go 2 units past the y-axis and plot my point. So 1, 2, and that's where my A prime lands. So for reflecting, you are counting how many units it takes for you to get from the original point to the axis, and then you are counting that many units past the axis. So let's see what happens for point B. 2 units it took me to get to the axis. I'm going 2 units past, and that would be my B prime. Okay, same thing for my C. Let's see how many units it takes to get to my y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. I now need to go 4 past my y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is my C prime. Okay, so you just have to look at the directions very carefully as to whether they're telling you you're reflecting over the x-axis or you're reflecting over the y-axis. All right, and then of course you would go ahead and list these ordered pairs or coordinates using your prime tick marks. And they did that here, right? So we'll just do one of them. Starting at my origin, in order for me to get to my A prime, I would have to go left to -1, -2 and stop. And then I would have to go up 1, 2, 3 to +4. So -2, +4 would be my A prime, and you see that that is listed here. Again, the entire figure landed in quadrant 2. So quadrant 2 would be -+. So all of our coordinates should be -+. And let's see, -+, -+, -+. If you ended up writing the coordinates and you did not have -+, that is a red flag. You did something wrong. All right, let's try one more. Okay, so here it's saying we are reflecting triangle XYZ across the x-axis. So here we are going across the x-axis. So the original figure is my blue figure, and I'm reflecting it over my x-axis. So remember, this is my x-axis. So I'm going from here down here across my x-axis. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm counting how many units it's going to now take me to get to my x-axis for every point. So my x, it takes me 2 units to get to my x-axis. I need to go 2 units past for my x prime. 1, 2, and that's where I would land. For my y, it takes me 1, 2, 3 units. For my y, I have to go 3 units past. 1, 2, 3, and that would be my y prime. For my z, it takes me 1 unit to get to my x-axis. I'm going to go 1 unit past to get to my z prime. I would then list all of my coordinates of my new figure. So for example, if I want to know what my x prime is, I'm starting at my origin. I'm going left to -3, down to -2. So -3, -2 is my x prime, and you see they have that listed here. Now, if you notice in my new figure, my points, my x prime is in quadrant 3, and those should be negative, negative, which they are. And my y and my z are in quadrant 4, and that should end up giving me a positive negative. So let's see what happens there. Starting at my origin, I'm going right to 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going down to -1. So +4, -1 is my z prime. +4, -1, so far so good. Let's look at my y prime. Starting at my origin, I am going 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3. So a +3, -3. And they have our y prime as +3, -3. Okay, that is it for reflecting. Pretty simple. I will talk to you guys.